WoHos, it's me. I hope you'll enjoy this conversation with me and Stefan McDonald-Labelle, who is a Canadian, a friend, and a great filmmaker. And we talked about The Guest. Hi, Stefan. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's just about October. That's one of my favorite times of the year.
Mine as well. Do you indulge in the much bemoaned PSL?
No, not too much.
I'm a disgusting person.
It's just too sweet for me. That's all. I have nothing against it morally.
Yeah. My partner, anytime she's like out getting coffee, she's like, "Do you want anything?" I'm like, "PSL." She's like, "You're not going to make me order that shit, are you?" And the answer is, "Yep." I feel bad, and I also don't feel bad.
No,
I get a little bit of joy out of it.
Yeah, I like pumpkin stuff.
Yeah, me too. Pumpkin pie's great.
Yeah, pumpkin pie.
One of the only pies that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm a pecan pie fan.
Pecan pie is very good.
But I'm not a cooked fruit like fan. So I'm like not okay. Like I don't really like strawberry pie or peach cobbler or anything like that.
How do you feel about strawberry rhubarb pie?
Probably similarly. My mom used to make it a lot because we had rhubarb growing out front, and she'd make it. But I feel like I didn't like it.
It's not very popular down here, but I grew up in Wisconsin, and so it was quite widely used in pie form.
I mean, I grew up with it as well. Yeah, so big Ontario thing as well.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they enjoyed any pie in The Guest.
I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
There's no pie scene, sadly.
But I'm sure the mom would have been happy to whip one up.
Yeah. I was listening to the commentary for this movie I told you earlier, and it's funny because they were talking about her character and how she kind of like incessantly cleans. Like the intention was that she incessantly cleans just like to fill the void of if anybody hasn't seen the movie, she's recently lost her son, so that's what she does. She kind of just cleans to do something. They were talking about how the production design of the film, you don't want like a really clean environment because then the production design just doesn't look great.
Yeah,
but they're like, that's what we're going to do. So it does look like there's typically like you add texture to stuff. So when light catches it, it just looks more interesting. And it's like very, very like slick and clean. Like they just like dressed the room and then shot it versus like trying to like do anything to age it up or anything like that.
Yeah, I saw a movie one time and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And that was exactly it, that there was like no dust in the air. It was just super, super clean. It looked really weird.
Yeah, it can be really off-putting. And then there's movies where it works like pretty well. Like Ex Machina it's a very sterile environment, but I think they try to find texture in like interesting ways. Like in that movie, there's it has heavy thematic importance, but there's like a Jackson Pollock painting that was like I think partly destroyed and then redesigned. And obviously like Jackson Pollock paintings have like a lot of texture to them. So even though it's a sterile environment, it'll have like artistic features that feel discordant to kind of like zhuzh up the environment, I guess.
Oh, that's good. We should talk again before the end of December because I have to talk about Ex Machina on a podcast.
Oh, I'm a big fan. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, I love it too.
Also a big fan of this movie. So I suggested this one. You hadn't seen it before.
That's right.
Inish, do you want me to give like a really quick synopsis so anybody who hasn't seen it kind of like understands? And then I want to know what you think about this movie.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so we're dealing with a family that has recently lost their son. They had enlisted in the army and passed away, and they're grappling with how to deal with this. The mother is kind of, as I said, kind of like diving into, just taking care of the house kind of stuff to fill the void. The father is pretty much an alcoholic. And the daughter works kind of a dead end job and wants to get out of town, but she's dating a stoner who used to be in a band. And you can kind of see that they're like similar people, but they're growing apart and maturing at different rates. The boyfriend's kind of just stagnant, and she's ready to like go off and kind of get out of town. And then there's the youngest son who's getting bullied at school and just feels like maybe his brother was the person who he could have, one of the few people that he could have related to, and he's lost him. Mm. That's the perception that I get anyways. We can talk about it further and see kind of like how you feel about that character. But we have this family that's kind of dealing with this situation. And then in the opening moments of the movie, we have Dan Stevens' character who arrives and says that he was there with Caleb, the son who had passed away. He's just there to kind of like pay his respects, essentially. He's just been discharged, and he's there to say, like, I knew your son, he was a great person, and gets invited into the home. And it becomes like almost like one of those, like, I was telling my partner about this, that it reminds me of those movies where somebody comes into their life and makes it better, but in this movie it's not technically better. And I was like, I can't remember what a movie of that would be like, and then she was like, Mary Poppins, and kind of listed a bunch of movies off. And I was like, why is my brain trash? I know what the trope is, but I can't name the movies that are associated with them. I assume it's just like my ADHD brain, but anyway, so that's kind of the like a brief, summary of the jumping off point of this movie. Now you watched it. How did you feel? Did I make you watch something terrible, or did you?
No, I loved it. I watched it twice.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I watched it a few times. Here, one second. I'm gonna just pull up the guest, because I was realizing that I couldn't remember the character names. It was bugging me. Oh my god, there we go. My internet's being so wonky and weird. Okay, cool. So you didn't hate it?
No, I loved it. I thought it was really great. And there are like a lot of really fun details that we can talk about, I'm sure. But they really played with Dan Stevens' face and physicality in a way that is very female gazy, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah. It's very much they do something smart where I think they had said this, I think, in the commentary. I've watched the commentary like a few times actually, but this wasn't in the most recent time, so I might be misremembering where I've heard this from. But they did several takes of like him like reacting to scenes, and then deciding like, how do we want him to appear, like nice, neutral, or evil.
Oh, that's great.
So they kind of like were able to pick and choose which alternates they wanted to use based on where they were in the story and how they wanted the audience to perceive the character of like David, so Dan Stevens' character.
Well, first I didn't like him because I thought, all he does is stare and sort of sideways smile, and then he's got this dodgy accent. But
I was going to mention, this is the first time I noticed his American accent that like bothered me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, it's not quite there, but I also kind of appreciated it for the character, I think.
Yeah, I think it can work. I think it's okay. It's forgivable. But then I realized he was doing just so much more with his face. He's a really great face actor.
I completely agree, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was telling you, I just watched Abigail, and he just goes whole hog in that movie.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because he's meant to be like this kind of like, when they were like thinking of the film, he was meant to be more of like a buff character, but he was coming off of maybe like Downton Abbey or something, and he was like quite slim. So over the course of the movie, he actually kind of like bulks up and like gets brawny as the movie goes along. That's literally just because of like when they would like wrap his character for the day, or they'd have like scenes off, he'd go to like the gym with the stunt coordinator and just keep rock and rolling.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
just like wild to me.
I mean, he looks amazing in the
He does look
shower
amazing in
scene.
the movie. Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Which apparently is quite miserable because whenever you do those scenes, you have to dehydrate yourself so aggressively.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
Makes
you're
sense.
like, I like, I've never like done stuff like that, but at one point in my life, I had really awful, like I had dry sockets after I had my wisdom teeth out. Do you know what those are?
Yeah.
Like, you don't like heal. Like it's supposed to like, when you bite down after getting your surgery, you have like gauze that you bite down on, and the idea is that it creates a layer of tissue, and then it kind of like heals internally. But dry sockets are when that doesn't form, and it just like has a cavernous hole to your fucking jawbone, pretty much. So I had 3 of those. So I couldn't eat like solid food for a month and a half, and I was like horrifyingly thin at the time. And I was a miserable person. Like, yeah, I was so like cranky, like you'd say the wrong thing and I would like snap because I was fucking starving
Yeah.
the entire time. I was like drinking
Understandable.
Ensure,
Oh, yeah.
it was a month and a half of that, and I well, like so imagine like you have to like get ready for a scene like that, and not only do you have to like act and like give everything to the scene, but you're also just like aggressively dehydrated to look A+ for the
Yeah,
movie.
that's right. Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that. Now I will think about that when I see men in that situation.
Yeah, pretty much when anybody's doing like an intimate scene of any kind, they're like typically, well, I mean, depending on the context, I suppose, but they're typically like, you know, prepping for it, which means dehydrating and, you know, doing all the fun stuff.
Yeah. But there are a lot of details, like I mentioned before, that I like before the title card, we get him from behind running in socks, in bloody socks. So he's obviously been running for a while. And why doesn't he have any boots? but that's just disturbing. It's just a disturbing visual.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I think in the commentary they had mentioned that he actually passes the Maika Monroe's Anna character, and then we have the moment of like her getting home and getting into an argument with Leland Orser, who plays her father, who is Spencer Peterson. I had to look at my monitor for a second, but they ended up cutting it because it would have just been like kind of. It's pretty economical as it is. It might have been perceived as boring if they like started it with, you know, that moment instead of him running with his bloody feet to the title card to the mother kind of like, you know, experiencing her mourning as he arrives. So if you try to slam that other stuff in, it might have, you know, it would feel like a bit unwieldy, I guess, even though I think I might have actually enjoyed it. But if you have the DVD, you can enjoy the deleted scenes.
Yeah, that's a nice idea to think about. Because she's on guard when she meets him. You know, he's charmed everybody else in the family, but her antennae are up. She's definitely
she's the last to warm to his character.
Yeah,
and that is a very brief warmth.
Yes,
he realizes he might be super creepy.
Yeah, he might be a murdering fool.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember seeing this when it came out in theaters. I didn't see it. Like I lived in Toronto at the time, but I didn't go to I think it played Midnight Madness at TIFF. But I didn't go see it at all as festival run. But I was like, I'd been a big fan of You're Next, and was really ready to see what he did next with. I think I assumed to be a larger budget. It must have been because he mentioned that this was his first Union Crew picture, so the budget must have been, you know, much higher than Your Next, and obviously it's not just like a single location film.
Well, I really like the dad. He's a little bit skeptical.
Yeah. I'm the biggest Leland Orser fan. Mitch, my producing partner for the stuff that I make, had mentioned like, who do you cast in a project? And I was like, I'd love to work with like Yahya Abdul Mateen III and Leland Orser and Kiki Palmer. And he's like, I love the fact that you picked Leland Orser, who like most people would know as the guy from Seven who's like almost like catatonic after.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the he made me fucker. See, like he's the guy with the cod piece.
Yeah. Oh my God, that scene is ridiculous.
Because he is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Apparently, so everybody else was pretty adherent to the script, but on the audio commentary for this, they're like, except for Leland Orser, who did a lot of improv. I was like, everything he does is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, like burp after like he's been drinking for a while, so you get like a little bit full in the gut. When we think of the funny lines from this movie, they're either like Dan Stevens' character when he's interacting with Luke, the youngest son, and some of those lines are fantastic. But the majority of them are Leland Orser being drunk or just like saying kind of like inappropriate things. So when Dan Stevens' character, we talked about this I think before we officially hit record, but my name in our chat is Stefan's back with the PTSD, and that's because like he has the line when David is at the table and him and his wife are arguing about this person who they don't know whatsoever being like in their house that knew their son. He's like, well, what if he's come back with the PTSD or whatever? Like it's such a funny. The fact that he phrases it as the PTSD is so wonderful. He just seems like such a dick. Like he just seems like he probably is the unhappy drunk father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are not going well for him at work. He's not
he'll
very
never make
well.
Regional manager.
No, not even regional manager.
Until he does.
But one thing about that first drinking sesh that he has with David is, I mean, they drink a lot, and it's not commented on, but yeah, you see all the beer bottles. And so you realize they've been talking there for a couple hours probably.
And they have a very, like, Spencer, who was played by Leland Orser, his character says, oh, I can really put them back. He's like, yep. Like, it's not the exact line that he responds with, but it's like a very flat, like, yes, like he's fine. And Leland Orser's character, who drinks a lot, is drunk.
Yeah.
And that's like a very, very interesting way to kind of like seed the evil David very early on in the movie.
Yeah. So there are a couple of things that are going on with the plot in terms of David making things, quote unquote, making things better for the family. Until we get to this like really wacko reveal that actually made me laugh out loud. But he befriends Luke, the sweet little brother who,
by the way, the actor, Brendan Meyer, is wonderful. So good. One of my favorite performances. I typically like hate kids in movies.
Yeah.
This person does like the best job. Like I love him. I want to see him succeed. I understand why he like takes to David.
Yes.
Like, it makes complete sense as somebody who's like, is getting aggressively bullied in school, and he sees this like strong ex-military person come back that takes interest in like what he has to say and calls him smart and things like that.
Yeah.
You can kind of see like how they gravitate towards one another. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really sweet. And the one kind of centerpiece scene with them is when David goes to the bar where the bartender is serving underage kids, the bullies themselves.
The bullies, yeah. So, I mean, the scene, it's very, very funny because it starts with Luke's character getting picked up, and it's typically like they've established it's his mother that picks him up. And he like looks over and it's Dan Stevens, David character. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And they have like a brief interaction, and it's like, "I want you to show me those kids that are bullying you." And he points them out, and then they follow them to the bar.
And the kid's like trying to like hide. He's like, he doesn't want to be seen by them at all. And he's cowering in the seat. And when they get to the bar, David's like, "I'm really thirsty. You want to get a drink with me, kid?" And then he's like, "No."
I love his like almost like immediate disavowal of like what's gonna happen. He's like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
But then it has like the wonderful cut of like him watching David enter. Then it's the harsh cut of like him sitting down at the table with David, and I think it's like a very smartly edited thing. Like he doesn't want to like disappoint David's character almost. He's like, "I don't want to go in there, but also like I want to be cool for this person that I think is cool, so I'm gonna go sit down at the table with him." Yeah, and things escalate from there.
Oh man, it's a really nice scene.
Do you recall what drinks were ordered for who?
Yeah.
For which characters? Well,
David ordered blowjob shots for the girls and cosmopolitans for the boys.
You're immediate, like he's starting a fight, which it's you kind of like know where the scene's going to go ahead of the characters, which I mean, and some people might like dislike that, but in this it makes perfect sense. Like I love the fact that like we know what's going to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
Like how far is the scene going to go is the real question, and that's what's interesting about it.
Yeah.
Obviously the boys are like upset with the fact that they've just been giving cosmopolitans, and he comes up to. It's been established earlier that he drinks. David drinks fireballs.
I think
yeah. It's I don't know. It's peppermint schnapps and Tabasco, I think. A lot of Tabasco. So it's like a very, very hot drink. And Luke he's like, "Do you want a sip of it?" And he, trying to be cool, takes a sip. He's like, "How do you drink that? It's terrible. It's like acid." So when the kids come over and are like, "Oh, you got this for us?" "Well, like, I don't want this drink. You can have it," and splashes it in his face. He's like, "Well, then you can have this." And takes this fireball shot and just shoots it up into the main bully's face and blinds him, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. My eyes.
Chaos erupts.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
Oh, and you get the kind of like kung fu sound effects and everything. I mean, it's just a really, really gorgeous scene.
Yeah, there's like the quick zooms and stuff like that. It's a very funny scene, and in listening to the commentary, I think it's like smartly structured. So it does start with what you might assume to be like kind of like a quiet drama almost, and then as it establishes itself, it kind of like moves to like kind of like a more informal tone that's like a much more fun. So like here we're showing you the real movie now is kind of like what the scene is trying to do to like give you the tone of the rest of the project.
Yeah.
And so you don't assume that this is going to be like an entirely like dour movie or, wallowing, because it is kind of like a little bit of a heavy opening scene up until I think this. Like, there's some funny stuff, but this is like truly the like funniest.
Yeah.
The movie has been up until this point.
Yeah.
And I just think it's very smart.
It's really fun.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. And so, I mean, Luke's affection for this guy has been completely cemented at this point.
Totally. He gets punched in the face pretty aggressively and has like a bloody nose. So much so that when he comes home, his mom's like, "What happened?" It's like, "Oh, don't worry. Some bullies at school." And David's like, "Oh, give him some self-defense classes. Don't worry about it." The Maika Monroe's character, Anna's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." She's like, "That's the stupidest thing in the world."
Which I don't think it is. I think that's a great idea for this kid.
I mean, I think that if David were to continue steering the movie, and what happens doesn't happen and it continues to help the family, I do feel like it would have resulted some kind of like school shooting-esque.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'd be curious. As somebody who's been like so, his character's been so like ostracized within the school environment. I'm like, what would Dan Stevens' character do at a certain point?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he is trying to, it's eventually revealed that he's going to do anything to help this family until a certain point is reached. So if that point is never reached, which is like the revealing his identity essentially, or I don't want to. Are we going to give stuff away right now or no?
Sure, we can.
Okay, so spoilers if you would like to watch this movie and you haven't watched it. Go watch it. It's wonderful. And then come back and listen. But it's revealed that he is from a like an MK Ultra-esque styled program that is trying to augment personalities to create kind of super soldiers. And Dan Stevens' character has a fail-safe that if his identity is compromised or his mission is compromised, he'll burn everything. He'll kill anybody.
Right.
So while he's initially attempting to like help this family because he was in fact friends with the son from this family, and he promised him that he would do everything he could do to help them. If his mission gets compromised, he'll kill everybody.
That's
so
right.
that's the kind of like the interesting thing about his character in this movie within the context of it. So I'd be curious to see like if this movie were to continue on, like how far would it go? Because there were some really, really funny scenes that I mentioned between Dan Stevens' character and the youngest son, Luke's character, where there's one scene where Luke finally stands up for himself and breaks a ruler off on a kid's face, and when he explains what he did to Dan Stevens' character is like, all right,
yeah,
cool, wonderful. Like he's so like proud
it's
of him.
So sweet. I know.
I love it. It's so wonderful. And then there's like a scene where he's like, what's the worst they can do? Bring a knife to school. What's the worst they can do? Burn their houses down with their families inside. What are they gonna do? Like it's so funny and played so well by Dan Stevens. But that kind of like hints at like what his character, like what would they do if they stayed in this like narrative for a longer period of time.
Well,
and I think that is like the hallmark of like a good movie is like if you can think about like, yes, this movie has to end and it just can't keep going on forever and ever and ever, and him doing ridiculous stuff that exists outside of the budget of the movie, but it can still allow you to think about like, that's such like an interesting conceit for a character. Like how far could it go? I think I'm on board with that,
And it could go pretty far. I mean, even Luke, when he figures out what's going on with David, he says he's fine with it and he's not going to tell anybody, Yeah. And I kind of love that. That was unexpected. That seems very Wingard-esque.
Yeah, because like I think like any other character that finds his identity, he would immediately kill. And with Luke, he's like, I believe this like he doesn't perceive him to be a threat to his mission, so he doesn't immediately kill him. And he's just like, oh, all right, or whatever with his accent. I can't do accents, but you know what I mean. He in his wonderful faux American accent, he says, okay.
But I mean, Maika Monroe is really, really on his case, after the party. And after her friend is killed.
Yeah, so at the party, he's introduced to, oh my god, what's his name? He's like a character actor in a bunch of like stoner comedies from the time.
Is he Zeke?
He's not
character?
Zeke. Zeke's the boyfriend.
Oh, Craig?
Craig. Oh my god, he looks so different in his photo that I couldn't recognize him. Yeah, so Joel David Moore, who's in like Dodgeball and like a bunch of like dumb, I feel like a bunch of like silly comedies. Like I want to say like there was like American Road Trip or something like that, or do you know what I'm talking about? Or Euro Trip maybe is what it was called. Is he in Euro Trip? I have no idea. I'm an idiot.
Well, what I'm learning right just now in this moment is that Ethan Embry is in this film.
By the way, I'm a huge. I'm an embryo. I'm an Ethan
Oh,
Embry
nice.
fan. I've been like he looks hot as hell now. Like A
Yeah.
plus. Yeah. Melt butter on that bod. Looks great. He's a fellow Baldman, which time comes for us all. He's just like a good looking guy, and I really enjoy his like if you look at him in oh my god, what's that teen movie that he's in? Like all these teen movies that I never that's not Never Been Kissed. Oh my god,
Can't
what's
hardly
wrong
wait.
with me? Can't Hardly Wait. Thank you. If you picture like that kind of like gangly guy,
Yeah.
it's like hard to reconcile with the modern Ethan Embry, who is wonderful. Like Devil's Candy. I think he might be in Hunter x Hunter. I think I can't remember. Might be confusing teen heartthrobs that have ascended and gone into horror movies, but it's just like such a wonderful, like interesting actor, and I'm always excited to see him pop up, even if this is in one scene. But to back us up, so we're at the party scene where Dan Stevens' character comes up to Craig, played by, I mentioned the person's name I didn't know, Joel David Moore, and he's like, "Can you get me guns? I'm a soldier. I like guns." And he's like, "Yeah, I can get you guns." There's a funny scene or funny moment before that where he's like, Joel David Moore is like, "I support you guys." Like, "Oh, you support us how?" It's like, "Well, like I support you guys." It's like, "What do you mean you support us? Like, would you enlist?" He's like, "No, y'all don't want me in there. I have asthma." It's like it just continues. He keeps pushing him on, and eventually there's an awkward silence where it's like, "I'm just fucking with you." But anyways, great scene. I think the composer Steve Moore is wearing the lamb mask in that scene from You're Next. So there's a little funny tie-in.
Nice.
He's in the band Zombie, which I've been a fan of for like 20 years. Really great band if you're into like kind of like proggier stuff, I guess. They do music that would feel like if Goblin kept making music, kind of. I guess.
Nice. Yeah.
Really good stuff. Would recommend. Check out Surface to Air. Great album. But he solo wise has been making music for a bunch of Adam Wingard stuff. Oh my god, Joe Begos movies like VFW and Bliss and some other stuff like that. Really talented guy. Anyways, he's in that scene. We leave that scene and we eventually get to the exchange of the guns to Dan Stevens' David character, and it's like also a wonderfully tense scene where he's like, "I want all of your guns." He's like, "Well, if you got the cash, don't worry about it." He's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you. Take all your guns."
Yeah.
the delivery is perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I did not see that coming. I don't know. I should have.
This is your first time. Like, what were you thinking going into that scene? Like, what were your preconceptions before you ultimately found out where it was going?
I didn't think he was going to kill the guy. But I mean, it's totally in line with his character. So I guess I should have seen that coming. But yeah,
he ultimately like it. Wonderful Ethan Embry is only in the scene for like, or in the one scene because he's dispatched, and so is the Joel David Moore's Craig character.
That was sad.
He just wanted to help him out and support the troops. Man.
Yeah,
very, very funny.
But at this point, I was rooting for David. So I was also like, "Oh no, don't take it too far, bud." You're gonna
like it does kind of like it sets him up as somebody who's like good natured and just trying to help the family out.
Yeah.
Like, so even though he's doing these terrible things, they're playing with like the expectation that you're ultimately kind of like in normal movies supporting this type of character.
Yeah.
Kind of like playing with that conceit a little bit, which I think is like so much fun. And like you said, Maika Monroe at this point, after this happens, is ultimately suspicious of Dan Stevens' character. She was a little bit suspicious before because there's a scene early, like in the morning, where she like gets up and he's having like a tense conversation on a cell phone. And he's not supposed to have a phone, so those two things kind of like get her hackles up. Is that
yeah.
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 I was like, hackles? Is that correct? The hackles are up.
And I kind of like it. Her friend is kind of like, well, your brother's a nerd. Like, take a picture of his flip phone and like look at the numbers that he's dialed. And
Yeah.
she's like, that's a great idea. And I thought that was pretty good because I think that's the way people would talk
totally.
about it.
100%, yeah. And that we're kind of like jumbling up the plot pieces a little bit, because like him looking up the phone numbers is the scene that like gets him into the fight where he breaks the ruler over the kid's face, because he's looking up the numbers, and it turns out one of them is for like a facial reconstruction, or like somebody who does like maybe like fingerprint swapping, or some kind of like nefarious plastic surgery of some kind. And the kid's like, oh, you were gonna get your like sex change operation done, and is like trying to be mean towards the Luke character, which like it makes, when he breaks the ruler on his face, it just felt like I was bullied so aggressively in high school that like it just like I just like I got back to like that period of my life, and I was like, good job, Luke.
Yes, so good.
Yeah,
so satisfying.
Yeah, so satisfying. Not that like,
no, violence is never the answer. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But also tight.
Well, and also, has he killed the dad's boss yet?
I think so. And that's what I love about this movie. It doesn't like, I know that like modern parlance is very like adamant that show don't tell in movies, bro. Like there's like a real like shitty like economy of storytelling, and I really hate that, because I love dialogue. I love a talky movie. So that like, not that like every movie should be talky. Every movie should just be different, and that's what's cool about it. And trying to like appease some like shitty dude who wrote a screenplay book sucks. So like, just make your own thing, whatever way you want to do it. But this movie chooses to like not have like any of the scenes, but communicates the plot details very loosely to the audience without spoon feeding us. They basically are like, Leland Orser's character Spencer comes home and is like, you won't believe what happened. They found Alan. He's dead. It must be some murder-suicide with his girlfriend. And, the crazy thing means that, like, I'm now regional manager. And he's, like, having his whiskey. He's like, can't talk right now. Whiskey first. And then he, like, delivers that exposition. Wonderful scene. And, like, the audience, if they have two brain cells to rub together, are like, oh, David murdered the boss to get Alan murdered Alan to get Spencer the promotion. And it's just such a fun early on scene. And the fact that we don't see it is very, very smart, because at this point this is the first David helps the family truly, like in a big way moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see it.
Yeah.
Which is great, because like it allows us to preserve David as potentially just like, oh, maybe a coincidence, who knows? Like it preserves the image of David essentially for the audience, to allow them to like, not entirely hate the guy yet. Maybe?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Well, and it's really fun to see him, beating up the kids in the bar and smoking a joint at the party and having sex with that 20-year-old girl.
Oh my god, that scene is so funny. She's like, oh, you're not really into it right now, referring to his manhood. And then he like essentially switches on.
Yeah.
He's like, I have sex now. She's like, oh, you're really into it now. It's just like everything with his character and like the way that the scenes are constructed is just like perfect. It's like, you can tell that the budget of this isn't like the hugest thing in the world. And it doesn't matter, because the movie's having so much fun with its like concept that like, to me, it's contagious, and it makes me have a great time with it. Have fun with what you got,
And he gets on Maika Monroe's side with the shower scene, where he just comes out of the bathroom with a towel very low slung around his waist, and he looks amazing, and she is affected by that. And then he also keeps her secret that she has a boyfriend. So he gets her on his side for a little
he appears
while.
like less like a narc at that moment. And that's like what I think she perceives him to be, kind of like, oh, he's just like a satellite for my parents.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And he kind of like puts that to bed a little bit and kind of like maybe seems like he could be cool. And then he has the line where he's like, oh, if I had a girl like you, I would have gone over to get my head, like get it shot at in like Iraq or I think they say Iraq is the line, but like, you know, it's a line that's like kind of, he's like kind of like trying to be charming towards her, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, oh, you're so good. Like if I had you, I wouldn't have left.
Right.
You know? It's a pretty disarming line that seems like she, you know, takes that and like has a bit of enjoyment with that line, which is, you know.
And he likes her mixtape.
Yes.
So, yep. So that's good.
Likes her music.
Yeah. So he's doing all the right things.
Yeah. Until things go sideways.
Yes.
when Luke provides the numbers, she eventually calls the base where he had been stationed, I believe, right?
Right.
And when they're looking up his name, it's like contact KPG Corporation immediately upon like the search of the name. So they're like, oh, we'll call you back, essentially. And that triggers kind of like the B, it's not necessarily the B plot, but you know, the exterior to the main plot of the movie events, where we have Lance Reddick playing Major Carver, who is alerted by AJ Bowen, a Wingard regular,
Mm-hmm.
that they found David, and they basically are starting like they start a mission to essentially reclaim their lost asset, which is, I think, is good stuff.
Yeah, it is really good stuff. Yeah. But I think we do have to talk about his defense of Luke in the principal's office.
Oh my God, yes. I can't believe I missed that. That's why, like, you have to have two people talking about a movie that they both love, because together all of the plot points that are like wonderful are going to get talked about. And this is something that I would have completely forgotten about that is wonderful. Take it away.
Well, after Luke breaks the yardstick over the bully's face, he is called into the principal's office and he's threatened with expulsion because there's a zero tolerance policy for violence in the school. And David has volunteered to go with the mom to meet with the principal, which is just ridiculous. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. But it's good. It's a good thing that he went in there, because he's like, oh, I see. Well, what had precipitated all of this violence was that the bully called Luke the F slur. And so he's like, oh, I see. So, you know, a gay student, this is hate speech. This is a hate crime. And now you're going to, you know, expel this gay kid from your school.
The principal is so funny. I didn't even know.
I felt like the principal. I was like, I didn't even know.
Yeah. The principal is so funny in this. That's another character that, like, I can't, like, is it Frank Bond? Is that who it is?
That sounds like a actor name.
Yeah, it might not be. Whoever plays the principal is like somebody that I recognize from other stuff, but I can't place him. Like, just like a really good character actor.
Yeah.
Because all of his lines are, you see his power position degraded over the course of this scene until he's like rendered to nothing. He's like, how about after school suspension or detention? He's like, for how long? 1 month? I think we can work with that.
Yeah.
And the line also of excuse me, who are you? To David.
Yeah.
Like, so not the father.
Right.
Who's
Exactly.
this guy? I'm a friend of the family.
Yeah. So great. So of course Luke is and so this sets up he's going to help decorate the gym for prom, or for the fall social or whatever they have going on.
Yes.
So That's good. That's a good bit of plotting right there.
Yeah, there's it's funny because there's like a lot of like Halloween like set dressing in the party. It's kind of like a Halloween party that they
Mhm.
go to. Around the house, there's like some Halloween decorations, and they smartly said that basically they'll go to wherever they can to make a movie, and then they'll write the script around it. And when they knew they wanted it to be like Halloween set, and they're like, um, there's like very rarely desert setting like Halloween movies
Hmm.
because people will typically go to like what is the most like aesthetically pleasing fall locale, and we'll go shoot there for like the Halloween vibes. So they shot in the summer because the desert is always the desert.
Yeah.
So you kind of shoot it whenever you want, and it'll still look like it would for the fall, which I think is like something I didn't think of before in my entire life. And I also don't think I can think of another desert Halloween kind of movie. So I think it's doubly cool. I think it's fun intuition for filmmaking, and then also just like a unique locale for the Halloween time.
Yeah. I think the desert would be I mean, unless you're shooting Breaking Bad, I mean, it's kind of hard to, it's not used very much. I
I
was
know,
just
right?
thinking of Let Me In, the remake for Let the Right One In, is set in
I
the
haven't seen it.
desert. You
Yeah.
didn't see it?
No, I was like disinterested.
No,
Yeah.
don't bother.
I saw. I was working at we had a really cool indie theater in Ottawa, and I was working there when Let the Right One In had come out. So I came out and I had watched it like a billion times because we were like a theater that actually employed ushers to make sure that like the film was like didn't break and people weren't being dickheads in the theater because we used to care about those kind of things as a society.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so I watched it a bunch of times, and I was like, if there's an American remake of this, it's going to be the most neutered version of it because there's like some stuff that like I don't think they would touch with an American remake, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting movie, but
I've heard some people say it's as good as the Swedish version, which is blasphemy.
I hard disagree. I think Matt Reeves is like he makes aesthetically pleasing movies.
Yeah, he made Cloverfield.
Yeah, and like the Batman looks good, but I think he's maybe kind of dumb, or I don't think it's kind of mean. Like I don't think he has the the Batman is like not a smart movie.
No, no.
I'm sorry. It's incredibly stupid. The whole plot is like trying to like fight the rich and powerful, but they drown the poorest people at the end of the movie. Like the plot is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Like I just don't think that like I wouldn't go to like a Matt Reeves film thinking like, oh, it's going to be an intelligent movie.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I didn't love it.
Maybe I'm being mean, so I'm really sorry.
I mean, Mac would give you a different take, but I really didn't care for it, and I really wish they hadn't done it.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I mean, I haven't seen it, so I should say I completely like. I don't feel like it's necessary, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Sometimes it's okay not to remake a foreign film.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about your podcast is that subtitles aren't scary.
That's right. Exactly.
Read the subtitles. Read the American movie. It's a beautiful movie. I'm bummed the director I think is probably in director's jail after The Snowman and having a huge falling out because I loved Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy so much.
Me too. Yeah.
And like to I don't think he's done anything since then? ?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
and it's a big bummer because I think super talented and smart.
Just the way we like them.
Exactly.
So back to the smart movie.
I've derailed this so hard.
No.
I apologize.
No, I'm just trying to figure out where we are.
We talked about Luke and the Halloween detention zone.
Yes. Well, I think it's just, Detective Maika is on the case, and then Lance Reddick gets in on the action. I don't know what the exact line was, but it did make me laugh out loud. When they explain that he's like this, government experiment, basically.
I can't remember. It's after. So the first introduction is they come to apprehend David, and nobody is informed that they're coming. So the family's unaware.
Yeah.
So she's like the mother, Laura Peterson, is like doing laundry outside, and they arrive, and she's like, they're like, "Where's David?" She's like, "I don't know. Like, what's going on? Like, he was just in the house." And it's one of those scenes where the hung laundry blows aside, and we see David, and a gunfight ensues.
Yes.
And David manages to dispatch all of them except for Lance Reddick's character, Mr. Carver.
Yeah.
Detective Carver. Well, I don't know what his official government title is. He's just like he's
Carver.
He's the dressed in all black.
Yeah.
Shadow organization. Like, it feels like a corporate, private, military, like paramilitary kind of outfit that's doing like maybe some like black book kind of like government experiments is kind of like the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He's the last person left alive, and on David's way out, he kind of catches Laura Peterson, the mother character, and it's kind of a sad scene.
It is.
She's like going to call for help, but he's like, "No, put that aside." She's like, "What's happening, David?" Like, fully oblivious to the fact that this person is actually just kind of like a monster, really.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm really sorry that I have to do this," and stabs her. She's gone.
Oh, yeah. That's so sad.
She does ask him, like, "Oh, did you actually know our son, Caleb?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yes. Caleb was like a friend of mine, like one of my best friends, and like he'll understand what I have to do now," which is stab her. So they're both part of the same. I don't think we mentioned this. They are part of the same experiment, essentially.
Yeah. Yes.
So he had this is kind of like going into the backstory, and this is, I'm only bringing this up because I think I need clarification. David destroyed the experiment, which I think means that he's the one who killed Caleb, right?
I think so. Yeah. 20 people died. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of
fucked up.
He murdered the son and now he's inserted himself into their family. Yeah, great stuff.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually feel that bad for David. I mean, it's not like it was his fault. He was programmed to do this. So
yeah, for sure. He's so before they made this movie, them being like Simon Barrett and Adam Wingard, they'd wanted to do basically a full chase movie film. This is before like Fury Road had come out. They were going to do it in South Korea, and South Korea notoriously kind of like has really, really long production schedules, which is why you get like really beautiful Korean movies, because they take so long to put them together. And they want to go there to make a movie because, like, who wouldn't want to go work underneath that kind of like structure and like that kind of like framework? You're not like making a movie in like 14 days because you have 2 sticks of gum and a please help me out kind of budget for a movie.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do kind of like a Terminator-esque movie, like just like an actual robot pursuing somebody as like the structure for a movie. And I think a little bit of that is kind of like what got ported over into this movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting a little bit.
Yeah. Well, definitely in this last part of the film where he's just, trying to protect his identity at all costs. Or now that his identity has been blown, he's got to eliminate everybody. So I think he gets the dad next.
Yes. So as he's leaving the house, he sees the dad approaching, kind of listening to like, his I think it's just like some silly music or something like that in the car. Buckles up and speeds up and swerves into his lane and causes an accident with the father. gets out, shoots him, and then hobbles off.
Yeah.
Because he's just like burning everything that he can to, no witnesses, got to get out of here. And he's off to try to basically catch Maika Monroe now. But because he's on foot, the Lance Reddick's character is able to get to Maika Monroe first, and kind of like abscond with her. And then he basically explains the mission to her, like what they were doing. It's kind of like the Johnny Tell-all kind of like moment of the movie.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not like adverse to like exposition. I think this is like it's fun stuff for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it works here. I don't know how else you could have done it. I mean, except in flashbacks, and I'd rather have exposition than flashbacks.
150%. I really, really enjoy this scene. Like, Maika Monroe's character is also like dealing with the fact that like what happened to my parents? Where are my parents? Yeah. And he has to say, your parents are dead. And now they have to kind of like go get Luke and get out of there, because he's going to try to like wipe everything. I don't know if he'll listen to this, but wonderful guy named Chris directed a movie called So Fades the Light. We played at the same festival. Really nice guy. And I posted a picture on Instagram of the screen of this movie, and I was watching it. He's like, I love this movie. Do you think he gave him the knife to stop him? In reference to the fact that we haven't established this earlier on, but David's character has a butterfly knife, and he, what they're carving pumpkins, it's like kind of a nice moment, but it's kind of creepy also. Where, your mother's knives suck, when he's trying to carve a pumpkin and then pulls out a butterfly knife and starts like, expertly cutting the pumpkin. And then Luke's like kind of like, that's really cool, essentially, is like what he's putting out. And David ends up giving him the knife. And so Chris's question was, do you think he gave him the knife to stop him if required? So I don't think so.
I don't think so, but
it's a great question.
It's a good question. Yeah.
I think that I do think his David's isn't just like one note. I think his like relationship with Luke is actually complicated. Like, I think he is struggling with like, how do I grapple with my directives, like he's a RoboCop or something.
Yeah.
And what he wants to do, essentially. And is the knife kind of like him trying to override his directive? I don't know. It is an interesting question that I never thought about. And I just thought it was a great question, so I wanted to bring it up.
I don't think he has any attachment to the knife. I think it's just another tool. But he doesn't need it, but he does have this relationship with this kid.
Right. But I think providing weapons to the people that he might need to like take control of would be like ill-advised. So I think the provision of like the weapon is kind of like against his best interest to a certain extent.
Yeah. But I mean, Luke's only like one, he's just fought back that one time. So, I don't know. If I were the RoboCop, I would take that gamble.
We're all the RoboCop.
But on the other hand, maybe he did want it to end on some level.
I have no idea. I did think it was an interesting question. So
yeah.
Much love to Chris. Hi from Michigan. All right, so where are we at? They arrive at Luke's detention, doing the Halloween dance, decorating, and I like chaos. I don't think we need to explain what happens. I mean, you kind of know where this is going at this point.
But what's great is we've got this kind of like synthy soundtrack, and there's all this dry ice on the floor, and so it's very 80s like coded. It's really, really fun.
Do you notice the Halloween 3 masks on the wall?
No, I didn't.
A pumpkin, a witch, and a skeleton.
Oh.
Yeah. So, good stuff. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh
Good.
man, weird.
Yes.
Yeah. So things resolve themselves. I don't want to talk, like, I don't want to go through the plot. I'm fucking bored of that. Ultimately, it ends with a really really great scene where um Dan Stevens' character ends up getting shot by Maika Monroe, and then he ends up kind of gaining control of the situation, and Luke stabs him twice, and that's what kills him. And he's like, "I don't blame you at all, man." Gives him like a thumbs up. It's like, it's the
Yes.
funniest, cutest scene in the world, where he's like trying to make sure that Luke doesn't like feel bad about the situation whatsoever.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. And then they're kind of like getting treated by an ambulance outside, and there's like fire trucks. A fire broke out. And at the end of the movie, a fireman limps out after they say that somebody is dead but is missing all of their teeth for some reason. And you have Dan Stevens' character kind of limp out in a fireman outfit. He just like looks to them, and you could tell in the eye that it's him. And the music kicks up, and Maika Monroe's character is like, "What the fuck?" And the movie ends.
Yes.
It's so good.
Really good. God, I'm so glad that you recommended this film. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I when you mentioned like wanting to do kind of like comfort watches for October.
Yeah.
And I was like, here are like some of mine. And you're like, I've never seen The Guest. And I was like, please watch it. It's like one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great score. Great actors. Big fan of Maika Monroe. Big fan of Dan Stevens. Obviously, I'm a Leland Orser fan. And again, like, I actually don't know what Brendan Meyer's done, but he is like so wonderful that I hope that he's like doing A-okay. I saw it was in Color Out of Space, which I did not like.
Oh.
Oh,
wait, is that the
He's in the OA as well. I see.
Oh, the OA that's one of Quinn's favorite things ever made.
I've never watched it, but I'm stoked that he's in it.
Color of Space, is that a Nick Cage movie?
It's Nick Cage, yeah.
Okay.
It's sadly done by the guy who was guilty of spousal abuse and I feel like maybe sexual assault. Richard Stanley, the guy who did that ill-fated Island of Dr. Moreau that the documentary was about. Shortly after this came out, he was canceled because there had been like previous allegations that were like on the books that everybody somehow forgot, and he did some more shit. I believe there's a documentary out that played at one of the festivals that we were at as well that covers the community that he's a part of, because he's like one of those like new age fucking cuckoo banana pants guys, and he's part of like a community, and the documentary kind of like explores the allegations against him, and then kind of like his relationship within this community of people. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's any good, but it exists. No thoughts on it, just
But Brendan, what's his face, is
Brendan Meyer
working.
Awesome. I love him.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's working. That's all I'm saying, because I think he is wonderful. Just like such a wonderfully played character.
Yeah. He really did great. I mean, he really made it his own, and he really feels like a real guy.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big. I posted earlier. I met Simon Barrett before. He's a nice guy. The guy who wrote this movie. He was in town when he was editing Seance, his directorial debut, which sadly isn't that good, I don't think. But my buddy's younger brother, Seamus Patterson, is like one of the leads in it. He's a really, really talented actor. I think he's in DC now, maybe? ? I'm not sure. Really talented actor. Hire him if you have a Canadian production. Great guy. Yeah, but super nice guy. Really, really like him. Like his writing, and I can love this movie.
He knows how to write, and sometimes you should stick to what you know.
Yeah, it's a shame, because I think that the issues with this movie is that, and this is something that like I think people need to like. I don't want to say like people should give grace to like lower budget stuff, but when you're dealing with like a large cast of people, you don't get them all on the same day, rarely. And if you do, it's for like a few days. And when you have a movie that's like an ensemble, that means that if it's a lower budget movie, that's typically going to be like a lot of like individuals of the ensemble, and they're very rarely together. And the movie suffers because of that. And I'm pretty sure it's because they couldn't afford to have all of the actors, like their schedule was conflicted and they just couldn't have them there at the same time. And that's kind of like what contributes to like a bit of a, it's a, one of those Agatha Christie style slashers, like characters are disappearing, like where are the red herrings and things like that. So it's a lot of like characters individually getting offed, and they're very rarely together. And when they're together, it works. But because they're so rarely together, it kind of like, I don't know. It also suffers because I'm a huge fan of his, and seeing something that like didn't like kind of like meet the expectations of what he's done is, might be a little unfair, but
yeah,
it's life, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I wanted to love it. I really did. But
yeah. Well, it sounds like you gave it a fair shot.
Yeah. I don't think it's terrible, by the way. I think it's like worth a watch, and like you might like it more than I did. I don't know.
Seance, you said.
Seance, yeah.
I will check it out.
It's not poorly directed by any means either. I do think it's the fact that they were probably grappling with actor availability and, probably rewriting on the spot and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's life.
That's life.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for suggesting this film and for talking with me about it.
Yeah, if you want to do any other ones over October, let me know, and I'm
oh, yeah. Great, yeah.
I can rattle on.
Would you like to promote anything, Stefan?
We are playing the UK. If you have any UK listeners, we're playing Celluloid Screams in Sheffield. It's one of the top 40 genre festivals in the world. It's great. I can't wait. If you have any Italian listeners, we're going to be at, I can say it now because it will have posted, but we're going to be at Torino at the TO Horror Fantastic Film Festival. It's a great festival. There's a lot going on outside today. I apologize.
It's okay.
They premiered a lot of like great Italian stuff. Like did a lot of Italian premieres last year for like In a Violent Nature, and there's my dog now barking at what's going on outside. They played Else, which is like a movie that played TIFF. They did a lot of great stuff. We're going to be playing Sweden at Lund Fantastic Fest, another great festival there. We're going to be playing. When is this going to come out, by the way?
Friday.
This Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think I can say more than that. Oh, we're going to be playing. We finally got a Canadian premiere. Canada's been difficult, despite the fact that we played great festivals in the US and in Europe. We can't, for whatever reason, can't get a Canadian premiere, but we finally have one. We're going to be playing Terror in the Bay. I'm very excited about that because it's a great festival and they gave us a shot, and I, appreciate the people who try to give you a platform. So,
and the name of your film is?
Oh, Head Like a Hole. And then we have a new film that will be coming out next year called Rewilding.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah, you'll get it. I'll give you another. For anybody who doesn't know, Christina gave me notes on my last film, and I'll probably give you this one to give notes on as well. So
yeah, that's.
Yeah. Tell me what sucks and what is terrible.
No, I'm sure it's you're in good shape. I've been looking at the behind the scenes posts on Instagram. It's
a gonzo plot, but it's like intensely me, so I'm hoping that it resonates with people. We'll see.
That's awesome.
When I told my producing partner Mitch, he was like, I don't know, man. But he did say it's my personality, so
he'll come around.
We'll see if it works. Yeah, it's pretty out there.
All right. Well, thanks, Stefan.
My pleasure.